Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today was the 5th Annual Hinson Lake Classic sponsored by Dynamic Discs, held at Hinson Lake Park in Rockingham, North Carolina. This is probably my second or third time playing this tournament, and every year I enjoy it because as I said in my walkthrough video, this is one of my favorite courses to play. Even though the 2 rounds today were some of the worst disc golf I think I've played all year, I still enjoyed it. It still had 2 good cards of people, still played a course I enjoy, and looking back at it and thinking about what was going on while I was playing, I realized the main issue was my technique was completely wrong, and I know what I was doing wrong, and I'm going to work on that to try to make sure that I don't do that anymore. Let's get into the video here, and I'll go through the chaos that was my 2 rounds this weekend. Starting off with the in the bag here, we have the end of a bag, and with one DGA disc, the DGA Blast approach disc, and the disc golf today is in no way reflective of the discs that were used. These are great discs. I just decided to throw them poorly this weekend. Alright, so we started off on hole number 8 for the first round. It is very cold right now. I believe it's below 50 degrees. My fingers are numb and I can't really feel the disc very well, and that's going to play a big part in my initial putting. But that first throw I threw, unfortunately, way left into these trees, and there is absolutely no way to get out of this. This is horrible. I'm taking the pig, and I'm going to try to throw just a little flex forehand, but unfortunately it hits on edge, and it's going to roll away from the basket. And pretty much I got no distance on that. I just threw it out to the right, essentially. So this is to try to save par here, and remember, I cannot feel my fingers. I'm going to try to go through a small gap. That was just a horrible decision. I would have been much better off just kind of doing a skip shot from right to left there. Just try to get closer than I actually did. And this was just a bad putt. Really bad putt, and followed up with another really bad putt. This first hole just destroyed my confidence the whole rest of the round. Took a triple bogey on the first hole of the day, and I was pretty much done from there. But I'm going to throw the Fox here on a backhand. Threw it very well. Got it pretty deep before it finally hit a tree and fell straight down. But I'm going to take my AVR here and just kind of spike hyzer it in under the basket for an easy par. Hole number 10, I'm going to be throwing the Beast. And out of the hand, felt very good. Got up into the open area on the left, which is kind of where you want to be. And I'm going to take, I believe this is a pig. And unfortunately, I missed my line completely. I wanted to go more wide right of that tree that I hit, but I do get to toss it up to the basket. This is a par 4 as well, so I'm going to take a par 4 here. Hole 11, I'm going to take the Halo AVR, and I'm going to try to throw it down the middle, which I do, and actually it ends up pretty well, much better than my practice round ended up. And I finally got my first birdie of the day. Unfortunately, that's bringing me back to two over. This is the Blizzard Destroyer, and I kind of cranked over on it a little bit too much. My forehand was horrible today for the most part. I went deep with it, and my only option here is to try to just kind of toss it out of these trees and just try to get it to the sand. Luckily I hit the little gap that I had and was able to put it next to the basket to take the par. Hole 13, I missed my drive here unfortunately, but that was the Blizzard Destroyer. And I'm going to take the T-Bird 3, and unfortunately I yank it straight OB into the trees on the right, into the thick stuff. And so I'm having to bring it back in bounds. I then missed my upshot, but this is for double bogey. No, this is for bogey. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 with a, yeah, that was a bogey. Hole 14, I'm throwing the rock 3 and absolutely laced it down the middle. One of my best throws of the day. And it left me this for the bird. Which I was lucky enough to keep in the chains. I struggled with putting today. I'm going to take the Fox here. And on this hole, my back left foot kind of slid just a little bit as I went to push off on it. And it threw my body completely off. That was me trying to make something happen with that pig. And I just fortunately hit that tree. AVR 3, I'm going to throw it up and get it next to the basket. So luckily it's an easy tap in bogey, but that tee shot kind of hurt with that foot slippage. Hole 16, I'm throwing the blast here, and I do learn what I should have been doing on this hole the whole time next round, but this round I'm trying the blast on a forehand, and unfortunately I just started off too far right, and that's too stable. I didn't quite make it around that corner, and it's going to leave me kind of trapped in here. And all I can do is just put it up under the basket to take the par. Hole 17, I'm going to be throwing the, this is the Star Destroyer. And absolutely nailed the line. I was waiting for it to come back to the right, and it just never came out. It just kind of held that line and went deep. And it puts me right underneath this little branch here. I'm having to kind of putt from underneath it. And I'm just going to take a par here. Hole 18, I'm going to throw the AVR 3. I'm going to try to get it down that middle gap and just get it into the opening area before the OB section. And luckily I get it right where I wanted. I'm about 150 feet out here. Going to take the AVR 3 again and just throw it right near the basket. And it's going to leave me this long putt here for par. This is just about circled edge, I believe. And I was able to save it. Hole 19, I played this hole so poorly both rounds today. Threw the rock 3, and today there was wind. There was no wind in the practice round, and both rounds today I'm just throwing that rock 3 right into those trees, and I'm having to go from the drop zone to try to save the par, but it's going to leave me this for bogey. Hole 1, I'm going to throw the Halo AVR. Got a little backhand on it. Didn't quite turn over as much as I wanted, but luckily it caught a little tuft to grass there and kept me in bounds. This is for bird. This should have been such an easy birdie putt. And I just put it low and left. Unfortunately, I just could not find my putt today. So I'm going to take a par on the easiest hole in the course. Hole 2, got a really good pull with that rock 3, this exact line I wanted, and so I'm very happy with that shot. It's going to leave me this circle's edge putt for birdie. And I just leave it short left, so I'm going to have to settle for par. Hole 3, I'm going to throw the Halo AVR. and I want to get it down that right gap and let it fade back to the basket. And it was looking so good until it hit that deep tree. So it's going to be this long birdie putt that unfortunately I just leave way short. I have to settle for the par. Hole 4, I missed my drive, but this is for birdie. And just did catch the left band, and it's going to leave me a pretty easy tap in for par there. Next hole, I believe that was the it. Pretty positive that's the it. And got it right down that gap that I wanted to hit, and got it right to the middle of the fairway. So it's going to leave me with this really long birdie putt here. This is probably about 50-60 feet, and almost made it. Easy tap in for the par though. And I'm throwing that's the it again. And had a good pull out of the hand, but unfortunately kind of faded out into the left trees here. So I'm going to take the blast and try to throw it up near the basket. Out of the hand, I thought I was going to be all over the basket, and then it kind of just dumped out on me a little early. But this is a pretty makeable par putt, and I unfortunately just sail it to the right, and then my return putt here is in the basket, and then it just falls out. I had some really bad putts today, so unfortunately I'm going to take a double bogey here. So that's 2 holes that put me 5 over today. Just horrible disc golf. Hole 7, going to throw the blast, and on the forehand, luckily I hit that tree and kicked down in the middle of the fairway. So it's going to leave me with this long approach with the AVR 3. And I thought I might have made it in the basket there for a second until I hit that early tree. And this is to try to save par here. And luckily I was able to finish the round with the par. So after that horrible round, I finished +6, and I really only had 2 holes that kind of tanked my round, and that was the first hole, and then our second to last hole where I took a triple bogey and a double bogey, and then 13, 15, 19 with the single bogeys, and I did have 2 birdies, which helped, but you know, when you start a round triple bogey, and you know, it can get into your head, and it definitely did for me, where I was not very happy with that, and it was in my head the entire round, and you can kind of see that from the entire video. I did realize kind of what I was doing wrong after the rounds. On my way home, I had a 2-hour drive back, and I was just thinking about it, and I did realize kind of what I was doing all day, and I wish I had realized it during the round and tried to adjust it. But I'm going to work on it more when I get out to the fields this week, and see if I can just try to ingrain it in my head to get my form to where it's second nature. I went back to really old bad habits this round, and it showed. It showed plainly that I need to work on that. But we still have one more round to go to kind of see where we finish. I believe I was second to last place after round 1, and we're going to see if we can maybe do a little bit better with that at the end of round 2, but that remains to be seen. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again for round 2.